We have a Super Bowl parade that is wrapped up in Kansas City, and there is, breaking news out of that, and it isn't the kind that we want to be talking about here, as police have arrested 2 armed shooters at Union Station in Kansas City after they opened fire. Reports are that multiple people were struck. Reports out of the NFL Network, and they are saying that they were broadcasting live from out in front of Union Station. And as they were broadcasting, the authorities came up, said, get underneath the stage. You had multiple broadcast crews that were at the time celebrating the Chiefs' back-to-back Super Bowl victories. And they had to go to commercial break, about 10 minutes of commercials on FS1 before they broke into a Fox News report. 2 armed shooters opening fire in Union Station at the Chiefs Super Bowl celebration. Absolutely heinous.
Yes.
And when you think of these things that happen, I mean, this isn't political, this isn't gun control, this isn't any of those things. We need to do right by others in this country, and I think it's far too many times that we have to go through this, and there's going to be fighting, bickering back and forth. We need to do right by others and put the political things aside in all of this and start talking about people, man, because we are talking about the loss of life and people opening fire in large groups. And
for what?
Exactly. This is...
It's going to come out that it has nothing to do with... Are we still on?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our power in here kind of went off. Our lights went off.
We got some fail safes.
Okay.
Yep.
There's generators and such.
Oh,
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, our power just went out. But this is... I mean, unspeakable acts are continuing to happen across our country, and it happens time and time again, man. And we need to start having these conversations about the people that are harmed by these acts, the people that are committing these acts, and what is leading this to happen. It's tragic in every single sense.
There's been an update. 1 person dead, 9 hurt, wounded. There are now 3 people in custody.
God, I can't imagine. Think of that. You're going to a Super Bowl parade to celebrate your city, a team that you follow, something that everybody rallies behind, and something like this happens. And yet we have it happen time and time again. And it's unthinkable. Yet we think about it all the time because it continues to happen. Man.
Because we had planned to come out and talk about the parade and fun and Patrick Mahomes.
The celebration of
saying very dumb things like nobody believed in us. And, instead it's this.
And all of the conversations are going to get bogged down by
the political machinations of it all.
Well, yeah, and things that people are refusing to budge on.
Yeah.
Instead of having honest and open conversations about what is actually happening in our country.
Yeah.
And continuing to happen in our country. Man, I can't imagine being the people who are affected by this. I can't imagine being, because I think of this and like my mind goes to, I would be pulling my kids out of school. We would be going down and we'd be going to celebrate the Portland Trailblazers if they ever win a title. And there would never be a thought in my mind that something like this would happen. And there shouldn't be a thought in anybody's mind that something like this is going to happen. Yet here we are again, in this one at a Super Bowl parade.
That's the thing is how many, people are about it. It makes it, this is not the right phrasing, but I'm saying it anyways because I'm ignorant otherwise. It's a day of celebration, which makes it almost worse. Not that it would be any better under your circumstance. It just
it doesn't matter if it's at a school or in a public place or at a parade like you're saying. But this is supposed to be this is supposed to be the celebration,
coming together,
community coming together.
Yes, and it's just like that. Just seems to take it to another level of like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah. All right, we'll keep you updated on anything, any new developments that do happen in this, and we will talk about the Super Bowl celebration that they did have as well. But that's the latest update. 9 wounded, 1 presumed dead, 3 suspects in custody in Kansas City after shots fired in Union Station following the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. All right, it is 12:47 on the Fan.
It's time for a Pro Football Report, the inside story on America's favorite sport. Brought to you on the Fan by the Farmer's Dog. Fresh, human-grade dog food delivered right to your door.
All right, as we talk about the Super Bowl winners, their parade, and the tragedy that happened in Kansas City today, there's also news out of San Francisco, the team that lost in Super Bowl 58. They have fired their defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks, after a defense that was one of the top 3 in the National Football League throughout the regular season, had their warts in the divisional round and conference championship, but I thought they played a pretty damn good game in Super Bowl 58.
Holding Patrick Mahomes at 19 in regulation is now grounds to get you fired.
Yeah, and if you think about it as well, the timeout the 2 timeouts that the 49ers had to use, apparently that did not sit well with Kyle Shanahan. This Pro Football Report on the Fan is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. Fresh, human-grade dog food delivered right to your door.
That was super.
In the shotgun, Mahomes. He runs and he throws. Caught. Touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years.
What will we remember from this year's big game?
I figured out in this game that I do hate the Chiefs more than I hate the 49ers.
Talk about it and get the inside story from Portland's sports leader, 1080.
It's all meaningless until football starts again.
The Fan.
Taste the warmth of the season with Victorico Mexican Foods' flavorful homemade style pozole. Hey, it's Dusty. For a limited time only, Victorico's is offering pozole. It's perfect on a chilly day. Pick up your favorites in-store or online at victoricos.com.
Want to be like Bezos, Gates, or Oprah? Or how about a Wall Street hedge fund titan? Well, maybe you can't be them, but you can finally invest like them by accessing an asset that's outpaced the S&P 500 for the last 27 years by 136%. Blue chip contemporary art. By 2026, Citi predicts the art market will grow by $1 trillion. But how do you get into art investing without having a hedge fund of your own? Easy. With Masterworks. Masterworks buys multi-million-dollar artworks, breaks them into shares, and allows investors to add those shares to their portfolios. They offer art from icons like Basquiat, Banksy, and Picasso, so you can diversify your portfolio beyond just stocks and bonds. Schedule a call with Masterworks advisors today at masterworks.com/ice. That's masterworks.com/ice. This advertisement relates to the provision of advisory services by Masterworks Advisors LLC and is not intended to offer or solicit investment in any securities. Masterworks Advisors is affiliated with Masterworks.
Suki here for Crunch Fitness, where you'll find top-of-the-line equipment, innovative classes, and no judgments. Get started with 29-cent enrollment, your first month free, and memberships as low as $9.99 a month. Join Crunch today in Portland, Vancouver, or online at crunch.com.
It's the Pacific Northwest Sportsman's Show, presented by Loophole, February 14th through 18th at the Portland Expo Center. Get show-only pricing on the latest in fishing tackle, hunting gear, archery, taxidermy, outdoor clothing, guides, outfitters, lodges and resorts, trucks, campers, boats, RVs, and more. Attend any or all of the special events at the show and meet members of Born and Raised, Addicted Fishing, and public lands advocate and hunter Randy Newberg. The 49th Pacific Northwest Sportsman's Show, presented by Loophole. More at thesportshows.com.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of JVC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I got to change the oil in my car.
Right now, get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $36.99.
Get in the zone.
What do I do with my old oil?
We can recycle your used oil for free.
And do you have oil for my old work truck?
You can find the right high mileage oil to help it go farther right here at AutoZone. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
When I think about you, I think about love.
Danny and Dusty on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
All right, 12:52. As we see more and more of this news coming out of Kansas City, we've got to talk about this, because look, this is something that it is pissing me off, and it makes me so upset that we have to go through this all the time. The latest update out of Kansas City is that multiple children now are being treated as a result of the shooting and chaos that ensued at Union Station following the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. 10 people shot. One report has 1 dead, 9 injured. We can't continue to do this. We can't continue to have these conversations. And when the hell is enough going to be enough? And when are we going to actually address what is going on? Like, it really bothers me so damn much that we have to see this time and time again, whether it's in our own backyard or it's somewhere else. And it's like, you always think, it's somewhere else. And you kind of put it in the back of your mind. You said it best, Danny, when you said, like, this is supposed to be a time of celebration. And we can't even have that anymore.
No.
Like, this is... I mean, somebody near and dear to the fan family, Steve Forsythe, died at the Clackamas Town Center shooting.
Yeah.
You guys all know him as the father of Alex Forsythe, who now plays for the Denver Broncos and played for the Oregon Ducks. But Steve worked for Odyssey when it was Entercom back in the day. And his wife, Carla, worked here for several years after his passing, and to see front and center how that affected their family and continues to, and not just their family, but the community, because he was such a big part of the West Lynn community. His story hits so close to home to everybody that worked here and works here. And these tragedies continue to happen, and there's a story like his in almost every single community across this country because this continues to happen. And it pisses me off that we continue to do it and nothing is done. Nothing is done.
About anything.
About anything. About anything. Whether it is in the political realm, and whether it's common sense gun laws, or whether it is actually talking about people.
Yeah.
Talking about people and the people that are affected by it, and the people that are affected that lead to the actions, and the people that are carrying out these heinous crimes. We have to start talking about it and being open with it.
Not brushing it under the rug when something like this happens. It's saber rattling about gun control. It's saber rattling about mental health, and then we just move on.
And we forget about it.
Well, and that's what it's all going to be, is, we have to address mental health in this country and blah, blah, blah. But it's never just T's and P's and mental health. And you're right, something does need to be done, but somehow we still have so many states that want to make it easier for so many more people to go out and not only buy, but carry a gun somewhere where it doesn't need to be carried. Sorry, that's my gun control thing.
Well, it's mind-boggling. The amount of police and military personnel that were there, it didn't stop it, right?
Right.
But it doesn't just have to be about that, because there are several responsible gun owners. There's millions of responsible gun owners in this country.
It's a staggering majority, but yes.
Staggering majority.
Yeah, but it takes, again, it's just one, and that's the thing.
That is it. And this is too many of these instances that we've had time and time again. And the thoughts and prayers are great, but what have they done? What have they done to curb any of this?
Yeah.
And that's where we need to have honest and open conversations about what is happening in our country, because there's people that are dying.
Literally losing their lives. And that's
at parades for a Super Bowl.
At schools.
At schools. going to school, going to the mall. I just saw another report that there's a shooting in Palm Beach, Florida at a mall. Like, this is something we can't ignore anymore. And it doesn't start on a sports radio show in Portland. Where it starts is in your own homes and in talking about whether it is mental health or whatever side of gun control you are on, whether it's you want to talk about responsible gun ownership and usage, or you want to talk about what those common sense gun laws are. I'm not a politician. I'm not here to pass any legislation right now, but we need to start figuring out the core of what is going on. And that starts with the human beings, the ones that are being affected by these situations and the ones that are carrying them out. And these conversations need to happen at home with wherever we are and the people that we are around and the people that you can affect, because that's how change starts. It starts in small groups, and then you can get to a point where we have the masses. If we all have these conversations, they're uncomfortable and they're not fun to have.
No.
They're not fun to have, but we got to have them. And if there's one damn thing you should do, it's squeeze the people tight around you.
That's for damn sure.